I'm Matt Chorley. One of my news highlights of the year was probably the height of Partygate. Boris Johnson being fined for having a birthday party in the Cabinet Room, and his great supporter, Conor Burns, long-standing advisor, sort of explained the whole thing away by saying he had, in a sense, been ambushed by a birthday cake. But I think for my favourite news event of 2022, it's hard to beat Kwasi Kwarteng's sacking. As Chancellor, he'd gone to America to talk up his mini budget. He was asked, "Are you going to resign?" He said, "No, I'm going nowhere." And then he got on a plane back to Britain. The man who'd admitted he'd created a little bit of turbulence ended up landing back in the UK, the only person by that point who didn't know he was going to get the sack. In fact, he found out he was going to be sacked after reading about it on the Times website. He went back to number 10. His old mate Liz Truss told him the game was up. She then gave the weirdest press conference in history, and she was history just a few days later. And that whole day, which began with him coming back to the UK, I was on air the whole time watching his flight as it came back to Britain. I think that's basically summed up the madness of politics in 2022. I do wonder if 2022 might end up being the year that we reached peak madness in British politics. I started using the phrase "this is not normal" around sort of 2017, when all the Brexit madness was happening in Jeremy Corbyn and anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. And each year since then, we've tried to outdo ourselves. And, ever since the Scottish independence referendum, general elections, the Brexit referendum, and this sort of constant rush to try and be even more mad than the year before. And now we've got two people in Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer just embroiled in this competition to see who can be the most boring. And I suspect that's what 2023 has got in store for us. Two men trying to outbore each other, and they just don't want us watching.